have a gentleman, Mr. Fortnight, in the audience that would like to speak on this issue. Okay.
Hi, I'm Jim Fortnight, and I am standing on this annexation because I own property in my estate. One of the problems I have with this is that everybody keeps telling me that the Cracker Barrel has to come into the city to be able to get city services. I got with the county and looked up their county rules, and it says as long as it's an urban area and it's within 1,500 feet of the sewer system, that they must tie into it. What's the standing with the city on that?
The county makes regulations for people who are building in the county.
Correct.
And what they're telling that particular person is, if you want to develop a house or whatever else it is, a non-residential development, and I'm doing this assuming that your notes are correct, okay? That if that non-residential development is within 1,500 feet of a city sewer system, then we're not going to approve a septic tank system for your development. You have to make arrangements with the city to have sewer system. And then the city council has passed a regulation that says if you are outside of the city and you want our services, then you are obligated to sign an annexation agreement. And if you are not yet contiguous, but once you become contiguous to the city limits, you would then be required to annex into the city. And that requirement has been upheld by state law.
Right, okay, I've got a copy of that. I looked that up, and you're right on that bottom part where it says that, it also says in here that you will deny them fire protection, water, and sanitary sewer service. How can you deny them fire protection if they're in the city of Aiken Fire District, whether they're annexed or not?
That's the policy of city council.
Right, I mean, they're in the city, they're in the fire district, so they pay an extra fee for being in the county, right? A little higher fee?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, do they pay a fee?
Yes.
My understanding is the property would be undeveloped.
Are you saying they're a state? I don't understand the question.
All right. I live in the city, but I'm in the county, which is a donut hole in the city of Aiken. You have donut
But you don't live in the city.
Pardon me?
You don't live in the city.
No, but I'm in the donut hole.
Yeah.
And I pay fire fees because I'm in the city of Aiken's fire district.
Correct.
Which is higher than people that are in the city. Is that not correct?
Yes.
City residents pay through their taxes.
Right. What does the county people pay for in the fire district for the city of Aiken?
For fire?
For fire protection.
Just as you said, they pay a monthly fee on their water bill.
Okay. So
I would have to suspect that your house was built before council passed the policy, the annexation policy that said if you were going to build a house, you would have to annex in order to get city services, or you would have to sign an annexation agreement in order to get city services.
Okay.
Your house probably was built before that policy was.
The next question, the same people that live down here or work down here where the Cracker Barrel is going to go are receiving city water. Some of them have owned septic tanks. They're also receiving fire protection, and they're also receiving police protection. They're in the county, but under the mutual aid agreement between the county and the city police department, the county respond. If there's a call down there, the city will respond if the county requests it, and then when the county gets there, they take over primary duties. Is that not correct?
I don't know that off the top of my head, sir.
Yep.
I did know we had mutual aid agreements between the city of Aiken Public Safety
And
Department
seldom
and
ever do we respond outside the city.
Right. So they get just about everything that they need to get down there other than sewer.
Sewer, police,
Well, they get police services.
not in the city of Aiken.
Okay. Next question. Why is the city willing to spend $321,000 for a piece of property that was appraised at $15,000?
And I assume you're talking about the George Pond area.
Correct.
And I don't recall where it was ever appraised at $15,000 an acre.
Yeah, you had, the first appraisal came in at $15,000, and Mr. Dewar, which I have to give him credit, he said the same thing I'm saying now. You're paying, but you only got one appraisal, $321,000 you're paying for this piece of property. You got one appraisal of $15,000. And he said, you're giving Mr. George control over property that he has sold. He gets free, he gets to dump his water into the pond that you own, not even having a prorated basis like everybody else. He gets a pond built up with a sprinkler system in it that looks like Hope and Gardens according to your plan. So you're taking a pond right now, a piece of land that really looks like junk, and improving it, and you're going to increase the value of his property, and he gets to use it forever free.
Let me just make one correction to something you said, maybe a correction, I'm not positive. Mr. George, when he was at the dais, did not agree with that $15,000 estimate. He said that he thought it was $15,000 an acre, which makes a big difference. Still a big difference between, even at $15,000 an acre, it's still a major difference, but I didn't proceed it.
I got it all right here. I read it every word for word. It was done by city council.
I know exactly what was done by
Right.
city council, because as you know, I was the one focusing on that, but I just wanted to point out, Mr. George didn't agree with that $15,000 figure.
Right. Mr. George said that he had other people offer him $60,000 an acre. He also stated that if the city didn't buy the land for $325,000, that he would fill it in, and y'all could have all of the road, all the water run down Whiskey Road. That's something else that he stated, that he said was going to take place. So he, in essence, told you, the city, that they needed to buy this land for $321,000, or it was going to be filled in. Is that not correct?
He said he could do that.
Yeah.
He said he had the
So
authorization.
it's kind of like holding the city hostage for that, right? Okay, next one.
Just
The
a
property was formerly owned.
Sir, I think there's some other regulations that would kick in on that. In today's world, you just can't divert stormwater to a new place without going through some rather stiff regulations today. We're currently working on that on the neighborhood, where more water is getting dumped in the neighborhood, just the way you're saying the road's being built. So I think he would have had trouble making that stick without doing something to maintain his own water. You know, it's just a side
Well,
comment.
there's two sections of that pond over there. There's one that holds water, and then there's one that's dry now. And that's where the city wants to go in and put a liner in part of it to hold water, so they can make a walkway around it.
My comment is about the stormwater that falls on that piece of property. Where it goes is what's important.
Well, I'm just telling you what he said to council, that's all.
And I'm making a statement to you too, sir.
Okay. The other one is the park property that the city purchased. Why didn't you annex it when you bought it?